The Orange Osceola state attorney says the great resignation has hit her office. She's facing double-digit job vacancies from attorneys all the way down to support staff.
She sat down exclusively with investigator Louis Bolden. So, Louis, what is behind these resignations?
Well, Matt and Lisa, Monique Worrell says there are a couple of things. She says her employees are overworked and underpaid. We checked around and found that state attorneys and public defenders' offices around the state are facing the same challenge. It means if you have been a victim of a crime and you're waiting for justice, your wait could be much longer.
Nationwide, you're hearing that we are in the midst of the great resignation, and we are not exempt from that.
Orange and Osceola County State Attorney Monique Worrell says her staffing numbers are getting critically low.
We're in a staffing crisis. And it's not unique to this office. It's not unique to this industry.
Fully staffed, she should have 380 employees, but she says recently she is down about 50 positions, from assistant state attorneys who prosecute cases to the staff that supports them.
This turnover that we're seeing now is based on too high caseloads, not enough money, and attorneys just being overwhelmed to a place where continuing to work here is not sustainable for their mental and physical health.
In the past year, Worrell says she saw more resignations from the sex crimes and domestic violence units than any other area.
And we started looking at what are the problems in those two units. And one of the problems that we saw was that, like many other areas, the attorneys were overwhelmed. The cases were too many.
Worrell says the unit that prosecutes domestic violence cases currently has 444 cases that are set for intake and 412 cases set for trial, all divvied up between 5 attorneys.
It's a statewide epidemic. It's within our office, as I said, and the public defender's offices all around the state.
Catherine Fernandez Rundle is the state attorney for Miami-Dade County and has been for nearly 30 years. She says in the last year, her office has lost 82 attorneys.
That's the size of any large law firm. It's almost the size of obliterating one state attorney's office.
Like Worrell, she recently went to Tallahassee to wave the red flag to lawmakers.
If you look at our salary, our starting salary, and compare it to starting salaries in other areas in the country, we're the second lowest. And yet we're one of the greatest states.
She was followed by the public defender in Gainesville.
We are in a crisis. It's critical. The system is about to implode if we cannot hire new lawyers and keep the lawyers that we have.
And the chief judge for Duval County echoed the sentiments about low salaries.
And our pay has slumped to 26th in the country out of all 50 states.
Sometimes they'll let us know that they left to go work in private practice where they can almost double the salary that we're paying them. At $50,000, we're just not competitive with the private market in any way, shape, or form.
I also got an email from Robert Wesley, the public defender for Orange and Osceola counties. He says his office is in the same situation with 220 positions and 40 vacancies. He says civil law firms, especially personal injury firms, desire our lawyers because of their trial skills and trial experience. We are unable to match the salaries private practice law firms offer, sometimes more than 40%. Worrell says she is bringing retirees out of retirement to deal with the shortage. She says if you are a former criminal law practitioner, whether you are on the state side or the defense side, and you are interested in work, she says, please contact her office. And you guys, this is something that people really need to pay attention to. Unfortunately, most people don't until it affects them or their family.
Absolutely. And how is COVID and COVID cases playing into all of this?
Well, COVID certainly created a backup. And what's happening now is judges are trying to get all of those cases off the books. But what happens is, as more assistant state attorneys quit, then other attorneys in the office have to absorb those cases. So it just gets worse and worse and worse for the people who are still there.
And that just delays things even more and creates a bigger backlog.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
And if you have a family member hurt, you want somebody who can really litigate there.
Absolutely.
You know.
And you want justice.
Right. And if you're the victim of a crime, you don't want to have to share your story over and over because a new attorney just got the case.
Yeah, big problem. Louis Bolden, thank you very much.